everybody. Today we are discussing a report in the news that companies are dropping 4-year college degree requirements for jobs. Very interesting. So a survey of HR managers said that 53% have eliminated bachelor's degrees as a requirement for these jobs. So of these HR managers, 76% said they value real world skills over education. Now, when I was looking at that, I was thinking, what are real world skills? So here's a few for you to ponder.
Nice.
Sales, perhaps language learning, knowing different languages, perhaps tech and coding, and also communication. These are some examples of real world skills that you need all the time in various jobs, certainly to prepare for the workforce. And so in particular, these areas don't seem to care as much about degrees. The areas of IT, retail, construction, healthcare, and social services were mentioned as these fields that aren't really requiring degrees as much as they have in the past. And this is really interesting because we have always taught our students, haven't we, that they need a degree.
Yeah.
So my take, this is a good thing. I think this is fine because it's less pressure. And by the way, one of the reasons they used is because that they don't require degrees as much is because of the issue of equity. After all, it costs to go to universities, and some people can't afford that, especially with these tuitions, which haven't dropped. So it's a good thing, but as teachers, are we preparing them for college or the workforce? I think we need training on this. I think we need to talk about this at least, because I don't hear as much discussion about this. So that's my take.
Yeah, I think that's a good take. I think that we need both, don't we? I mean, I think we definitely still, it's not no problem to still encourage our students to go to college, but the reality is, like you said, you gave this some high percentages of people saying, hey, we're not even looking at the degrees anymore. So if that's the case, then like you said, there's these jobs out there, these career technical education programs that these kids could get into. And I know our district group, and I didn't even know this until recently. Because of this article, I did some, background check, and we are starting to do that. We are starting to have programs where you're bringing back the culinary arts. We're bringing back, we haven't brought back auto tech or auto, a mechanic. I'm not sure what do you call it? Auto shop, right? But I think that might be coming back because there's quite a bit of jobs there, right? All these new cars are coming out with these electrical. I mean, you have to learn how to work with those, and so I think it's important to do both. But definitely, I do see some starting to make that shift, at least in my district, Ruben. But I think you're right, though. Throughout the state, I haven't heard much about this, and I think we need to start doing. And what's wrong with encouraging our kids to go into a program, to go to community college and maybe a nursing program or a program? Although there you could maybe even do more education there as well. But we have a brother-in-law who's who's an electrician, right? And these are great programs to get involved in and say, hey, I might not be ready to go to a 4-year, but I definitely could do one of these programs that maybe last 1 or 2 years and get myself a certificate and go out to the workplace and get a job right away. Because I think you're right when you said that get those technical jobs, coding and so forth, because I think that's gonna be a lot of our jobs in the future, right?
But don't you ask yourself, am I training my students properly? Doesn't that ever cross your mind? Because
what crosses my mind is, are not just me, but are we all? Are we all like?
I know, but I know, but you can't control what other people do, right? But
no, I know, but I do. What I'm saying that is when I do see my district making those shifts a little bit, I am happy about that. But for me, definitely, what I could do, the Ruben, and I've been doing this, is having those conversations. Today I had a conversation with a young lady who actually, and she was almost in tears, telling me, I'm not sure if I'm making the right choice to go to a community college or not, to work on a program before I go to a 4-year. And I told him, yeah, there is nothing wrong with going to a community college, for a lot of reasons, for saving money, for the programs they have there, certificate programs. And I just think that's those conversations I haven't had in the past so much, but now I'm encouraging that for sure.
Well, they're saying she shouldn't go to college. You're telling her to go to college.
No. It does say in the article community college, because community colleges they do have the certificated programs there that 4 years don't always have. So I'm not saying to go to college, go to community college and then go to the 4 year, although that's possible too. There's nothing wrong with saying, hey, you have all these options. I think let kids know that, there's these opportunities. You get work and do well. And if you work hard, you can do fine financially.
I agree, but I agree with, I'm glad that what you were saying earlier about a
We agree sometimes.
a broader scope about the idea of district is talking about auto shop and culinary arts and things like that. But yeah, I just feel like it's not spoken enough at my school, I think, about this idea of what are we training our students for?
Yeah.
What are we preparing them for? And to give them a sense of the real world, that college degrees don't mean as much as when you were,
for sure,
when you were and I were at their age. Okay, everybody, thank you for joining us.
Before we go, can I interrupt you for a second, Ruben? I noticed you have a new painting there. Can you just give us a minute of who painted that? That wasn't you by numbers or anything, right? That's an actual painting.
Yeah, I'm really like I'm trying to put in new paintings. Like last week, I had a different painting that used to adorn the wall of our father's house, but this week I have St. Paul in prison. Not that I feel like doing this podcast is prison, Jacob. Doing this podcast is prison, although it's
sometimes you feel like it is. I know it
feels that way sometimes. This is by Rembrandt. Susanna Terrion, my friend Susanna, she's been on the show.
Yeah.
She gave that to me.
Oh, that's a nice gift.
Friendly gesture. So
very cool.
Thank you, everybody, for joining us. I hope you like the painting and I hope you like the topic. Tell us what you think. We'll link the article in the description. I don't always do that. I will do that today. Goodbye.
Bye-bye.